Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2019 career mode here today for round 13 for the Belgian Grand Prix. If you guys missed round 12 for the Hungarian Grand Prix, guys, then go check it out by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. But for this weekend, we are here for the Belgian Grand Prix. And before I jump into any spoilers, I'll give you guys fair warning, but now let's get into things here. You can see on the screen, we have no chance of rain this weekend straight away on the weather forecast, which is good news in my opinion, as I've been pretty good in the dry weather lately and I'm actually quite enjoying it. In terms of upgrades, we managed to put an upgrade on the last episode, and it was one that failed a couple of episodes ago, and it is for the tyre wear on the chassis. It's actually going to be a major chassis upgrade, which is good news. And in terms of the R&D development, you can see we are very close to Mercedes now as we close the gap, and Renault bring in some upgrades. The only team to bring upgrades along with us in this race, as Red Bull and Haas stay where they are, but they're so far ahead anyway, it doesn't make much of a difference. They're still incredibly overpowered. Either way, into practice, and we're going to get an idea to see what the car really is, and get an idea of the balance. And to be fair, the car's working well around here. I was really happy with this. I love Spa. It's one of my favourite tracks on the calendar. Joint 2 favourite with Suzuka, and I really love it around here. And it's an ultimate kind of challenge, the driver's challenge. And practice showed, we was doing pretty well. I was racing on 106% AI around here, I think, and yeah, it was working okay for us, to be fair. I was really happy with it, and I thought they were a little bit strong. There were moments where I was like, the AI are a little bit strong on 106, but I stuck with it for Q1 because I wanted to see where their pace truly lied, and we'll see in a minute how we get on. But you can see right now on screen there is Sebastian Vettel in the other Ferrari, looking as good as ever. That matte red paint job looking absolutely fantastic here. And yeah, Spa quali, I'm hoping to have a good session. I love this track, like I said, so I really want to try and have a good qualifying session. Last time in Hungary, we crashed out in Q1, so hopefully no more repeats of that. We can have a nice smooth session and kind of, get some vengeance in a way for the last race where we qualified down in Q1 and start the race from the back of the grid. But moving into Q1, you can see on the screen right now, currently we are a 10th out through Sector 1. That was one of my strong points along with Sector 3. This Ferrari, as you know, very slippery, very quick on the straight, and Sectors 1 and 3 are where the strength lies in this car. Sector 2 is not good at all. 1.5, literally, we lost 1.5, plus the fact that it was a 10th up. We lost altogether 1.6 seconds in Sector 2 to Lewis Hamilton in the Red Bull. Luckily for me though, like I said before, I'm good in the final sector, and we should go pretty quick around here. But even still, that's very concerning to lose 1.6. And my setup was actually quite heavily aero based. I could have gone a lot lower on the wings to maximise straight line speed, but I went quite heavy on aero to compensate for the second sector. In the end, we crossed the line 1.2 off in P10, and eventually we'd actually get pushed down all the way down to P14. We just managed to get through. A little bit of a scare. Lucky enough we do get through, and we move into Q2. But for Q2, I lowered the AI difficulty to 105. If you look at the gap to Sebastian Vettel in Q1, it was too much of a gap. Normally we should be pretty close as teammates, so I went down by 1, and we're going to see if that helps us out and gives us a bit more of an accurate idea of where the pace truly is, because I'm P14 on soft tyres is not where we should be, and especially nearly a second off my own teammate, that doesn't really make much sense. So yeah, we go down a little bit in Q2. Hopefully it's not too much and we find the right balance. But as you can see, Weber currently setting the pace here in the Red Bull as we go towards the end of Sector 1. And again, this is a good sector for me. I'm very strong on the straights, of course, and that's the strength of the Ferrari car. 2 tenths up actually on Lucas through Sector 1. Really good first sector. But now from Sector 2 here, you'll see what I mean. It's actually, visually it looks fine, but it doesn't translate to lap time. We're actually really slow compared to the AI. As we go downhill through turn 8, again, a little lock up on the front right, but still nice and tidy as we now go down through turn 9. Again, a little clip of the inside curb, nice and smooth on the power, and so far it's been a pretty smooth and flawless Sector 2 as we now go downhill through Porn. Very good corners. I absolutely love this corner with the Ferrari. It feels fantastic, and the centre speed is really nice. Now down the hill towards the Fancy chicane, down a couple of gears, and it's all about opening up the second one, really. Sacrifice the right to open up the left and get the exit as we now go down the hill into Stavlo. And again, no real mistakes in Sector 2, very smooth, but we have actually lost, literally, look at that, almost a second. Well, it's over a second really. We're 9 tenths off in Sector 2, but we was 2 tenths up, so in total we've lost 1.1 in the middle sector, which is annoying. Hopefully we can recover some of that though through this final sector. As you guys know, we are quick through here, so let's try and pull back some of that lap time. As you can see now, going up to the bus stop chicane, braking just after the 100-meter board, down to second and then first gear to get the rotation, and then again focus on your exit here, try and be as smooth as possible on traction, DRS open and up to the line. And where do we go? P7.
Top 10 now. Keep it up.
Pretty good there, actually 7 tenths off in the end, so we found 2 tenths in the final sector again. So overall a decent one. We managed to scrape through again though. As time got on, we just made it into Q3. Sebastian Vettel still 3/10 quicker than me, so the difficulties are a bit better this time because we've kind of got it a bit more realistic in the sense that we're a lot closer to where we should be, and Sebastian was still 3/10 up on me. But now we're going to move into Q3, and in this session we're going to go for 2 runs because obviously we've got plenty of soft tires to use as we got through with 1 run in each of the last 2 sessions. Both sessions just scraping through, and my first lap in Q3 was actually okay, it wasn't too bad. And we go P7 there, as you can see, a couple of tenths off the pace of Lucas Weber there into the low 42s. But then for some reason, I've had a few tweets about this, and I never really had it until now. But there's a bit of I don't want to say a glitch, but it could be a glitch. I'll see how time gets on and how we get on in time, in terms of if this glitch happens again. But for some reason, I was so much quicker on this run, on my second run, and there was no mistakes on my first one. It was a very good lap. I was very happy with it. For some reason, I just found so much more lap time on this final run. All I did was lower the front wing by 1 click. That's all I did. Not much changed at all. And we went so much quicker on this run. So let's stay on board with this now. You can see already 2 tenths up here through sector 1, 4 tenths up on Lucas Weber. Now into sector 2, throwing the car into Lecom, carrying the speed through Malmedy. Really good, nice, tidy section there. And now down the hill towards Rivage, keeping nice and tight as possible on the power as early as you dare. Let the car run wide, bring it up to the right, and then back across to the left for turn 9. On the power smoothly down the hill, and look at the Delta guys. We're just finding time left, right, and centre as we go down towards Pouhon. Absolutely perfect, absolutely nailed it through there. The line, fantastic. The grip, the downforce working beautifully, and now down towards the flank chicane again. Keep it nice and tight, sacrifice the first one to open up the left. Little tap at the inside curb to pick up some extra rotation. And now down the hill towards Stavlo again, attacking the inside curb, using third gear briefly to rotate, and flat out through the second one as Weber improves to a 46.9. We're getting to really quick lap times now. And look at the Delta guys, nearly a second up already. Really, really strong lap here as we now go through Blanchimont down to P10 as all the AI improve on their final runs, and we're going to be the last car to cross the line here, down towards the bus stop, braking as the curve appears on the left hand side, using first gear to rotate, and then again to really get the run through the final corner on the power as soon as possible, and we improve by nearly 0.8 of a second, and that was a big lap, and we jump up to P4 out of nowhere, and look at the gap to Vettel as well. I don't know where that lap came from, and again, I made no mistakes on the first run, so I don't know what I did to go fast, but I went faster. It's really confusing and I can't explain it, but I'm not complaining. Somehow we demolished Vettel by half a second, even though he'd been demolishing me all qualifying long. So again, I'm really confused, but no complaints. We get P4, we're going to start on the second row alongside Charles Leclerc and just behind both Red Bulls. So overall, a decent session. Very happy with that one. That second lap was fantastic. And we're now going to move into the race for round number 13 for the Belgian Grand Prix. Let's go do a bit.
In the 48 races held at Spa between 1950 and 2015, the race winner has only started from pole position on 16 occasions. Qualifying yesterday may have set the order for today, but expect the unexpected here at the Belgian Grand Prix. As the saying goes, of course, anything can happen. And you know what? It usually does. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. Alongside me once again for coverage of today's race, it's none other than the great Anthony Davidson. So let's chat about Daniel Kvyat. They've had to change their gearbox. It's never a good start to a Grand Prix when right off the bat you have to contend with a grid penalty.
Well, at the end of the day, it's always better to take some pain now than parking it up halfway through the Grand Prix. Let's just hope they can put that new gearbox to good use and get the results they're looking for.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lucas Weber lines up on pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Martinez, Perez, Kevin Magnussen, and Gasly, Butler, Vettel, Ricciardo, and Max Verstappen. Bottas, Sainz, Charles Leclerc, and Norris, Raikkonen, Russell, Lance Stroll, and Alexander Albon. Giovinazzi and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid, and with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Right, so here we are then on the grid for the Belgian Grand Prix. Starting from third place, Charles Leclerc had a penalty and we've been promoted up to P3, and we're going to start directly behind both of the Red Bulls. Really good news and a big positive going into this race, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to try and be aggressive. We're going to have only one chance of getting past the Red Bulls, and that's going to be on the opening lap on the run up the Eau Rouge, past Raidillon onto the Camel Straight. You know the drill. In terms of strategy though, hopefully the new tyre wear upgrade helps us out. We're going to try and go for the one stop with the softs onto the mediums and hope that we can get the tyre life out of it. In terms of fuel, we're going to run one lap extra fuel, so a little bit heavier than usual again to try and attack the Red Bulls on the first lap and see if we can try and have a good race here today. So fingers crossed it pays off, and you never know, Christmas could come early. The target for me this race is to finish third, try and hold on to this podium because I need these points. So yeah, let's jump into it. It's time for round number 13 for the Belgian Grand Prix. Right, here we go. Let's try and have a good start. 5 red lights are on. Lights out and away we go for Belgium. Pretty decent start. I've got a Renault to my left hand side. Sergio Perez trying to make the move. I'm going to put the squeeze on the exit. Hamilton get past Weber there for the lead. Let's run overtake and also Rich Mix straight away. We're at the perfect distance for a good tow here. Through Eau Rouge, look at the speed difference already. We're gaining on these Red Bulls. Come on, we can do this. This is my one chance. We've timed it to perfection. Here we go. We're going to box Weber in. We're going to power past both of the Red Bulls. Can we take the lead here? On the brakes, down the inside at Lecom, and there we go into P1. Get past both of the Red Bulls. That was perfect. We timed that beautifully. Got a good start. Kept Perez behind, and the slipstream is at the perfect distance all the way up Eau Rouge to get past the Red Bulls. So there we go. Somehow,
decent start. Good job.
We're leading the Belgian Grand Prix after a pretty, I won't say poor weekend, but a weekend where we've been nowhere near the Red Bulls. Now, can we stay in front? That's going to be tricky. There's lots of overtaking opportunities here for the Red Bulls around this circuit. Sector 2, they're very strong. I feel like they won't be as strong in race trim, also because of the time simulation glitch. I think that's also made it worse. But let's see then, as we come towards the end of Sector 2 so far. We're keeping Weber behind at a reasonable rate, but he's already on the back of me here. You can see on the arrows, he's gaining. We're going to have to deploy engine mode here to really stay in front, I think. It's going to be tricky to keep the Red Bulls behind. I think we should be okay into Blanchimont. Here comes Weber, he's looking. I'm going to cover the inside. Show him the long way round at the bus stop. There we go, just close the door. Don't let him go around the outside. And there we go, lap 1 draws to a close and we've stayed in front. Good stuff so far. Can we stay in front for another 21 laps? Let's find out. It is going to be hard to keep these Red Bulls behind. They've got a lot more pace than me. A lot more. It's only a matter of time. Just got to try and hope that we can just try and keep them behind as best as we can and hope that the strategy plays a part. Lewis looking for the move there. Not quite making the way through to the bus stop. He could have had a look there, but he went against it, so that's fine. But now we're going to have DRS on lap 3. Now we're going to really struggle to keep them behind, unfortunately. There you go, DRS enabled. And they're both setting fast up to the race. Good exit out of turn 1. We'll take that. That's a pretty good exit. Hopefully they battle amongst themselves. That would really help me out as we go through a Rouge. You can see the little arrow gives you an idea of, you know, if we're pulling away or not. Well, let's see then. Lewis with DRS. He's actually quite far back, to be fair. I can definitely turn down the engine. Weber and Lewis are going to do battle, like I said, so hopefully that continues. And I can try and pull away here. That's what I want. That's the only way I'm going to be able to hold on to this lead if the Red Bulls go side by side for like the entirety of Sector 2. Which they currently kind of are. Oh, I saw a bit of damage there. I wonder if the Red Bulls have come together. Maybe one of them got damaged. I saw an end plate, something fly off. Personal best again.
Okay, clear.
Yellow flag behind. Something's happened at the bus stop.
The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap.
Let's try again. Can we keep Lewis behind? I think Weber's got damage. He's dropping back. So yeah, I think my suspicion is confirmed. Weber definitely, I think, hit Lewis in the bus stop, in the brake zone. I think we've got enough to stay in front of Lewis. I seem to get a good run for a Rouge. Using my rich mix and hot lap early, it gives me the momentum to stay in front of the Red Bull, which is good. So we stay in front. So far so good, halfway through this soft tyre stint, and we're keeping Lewis behind, but again, now that Weber's dropped off and he's going to start going backwards, the pressure now from Lewis is only going to get worse because he's going to completely focus on me now. I'm charging my battery up in the second sector and it seems to be working. Here comes Lewis though. He's going to go the long way around. We're going to have to use overtake. I'm going to go down to hot lap to not completely burn the battery off as we go side by side. Magnus is P3 in the house. Lewis on the outside of Blanchimont there. A little bit of understeer kicking in, so I had to understeer wide. The brake markables are gone, which is annoying because I've lost my reference into the bus stop for the first time. Luckily enough, we've got it slowed down, but yeah. Looking good here. I'm able to defend from Lewis. Our straight line speed's good as we set a purple. Purple final sector. Let's look at the strategy and let's see what the team is suggesting. First I'm going to turn the engine up. There we go.
Understood. Copy that. Couldn't receive that. Repeat the message.
We'll do what they say. We'll go lap 10. If it seems like these tyres can last until lap 10, we'll do that. If not, we'll go back to lap 8. Okay, Lewis has got me this time. This could be it. I'm going to pull over very early. Let him get alongside and pick up a little bit of drag. Battle of the late breakers. Little clip of the inside curve, there we go, we stay in front. All or nothing on the brakes there, completely went for it. And we stay in front for a little bit longer. Okay, I think Lewis has turned the engine down. He's not really challenging me, so now's a good chance for me to save fuel. That rich mix is very valuable to me, also lean mix as well. Low ERS, so let's try and save a little bit in this middle sector. Seeing as Lewis is going to charge his up, I might as well charge my battery up and also get some fuel back on target. So far it's working out okay. I'm being very tactical, placing my car perfectly and defending fair. Okay, now Lewis is going for it. I could just hear how much louder his car was and you could visibly see the overspeed down the hill of Pouon. Now he's turned the engine up, now he's going to go for it. Now you're going to see the difference. Let's keep it in standard engine revs for now. Let's see if Lewis commits to a move here. You can see how much closer he is. Look at this, now he's going for it. Now he's going to make the move. So we're going to have to respond. A bit of contact there. We're going to have to turn our engine up to keep pace. Side by side into Blanchimont once again. Still side by side. I'm just going to edge in front there and show him the long way around. If he wants to go on the outside, he's going to have to do it at the bus stop. There we go. We stay in front. But that's the difference of engine power. We stay in front though for at least another lap. Onto lap 8, we were scheduled to pit in this lap.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
But we're not going to. We're going to stay out. The tyres feel good, to be honest. If Lewis pits in this lap, we'll have to come in lap 9 and respond to Lewis, of course. But for now, I'm planning on staying out. Yellow flag behind.
Green flag.
No idea who it is yet. We'll find out briefly who it is that's had a problem. Sergio Perez. Oh, that's one of the heavy hitters in the Renault. That's good news for Vettel at least, who hopefully will gain a place from that. Lewis has turned the engine down again though. He's not catching anymore. You can just see the difference in the straight. I'm tempted to pit in this lap just because I want to keep track position. I think I'm going to change my mind again. I'm going to pit in this lap. I just don't want Lewis to undercut me. I want to avoid the undercut. I don't want to put myself in that predicament. So I'm going to turn the engine down. Lewis is going to go to the outside. Into the bus stop, a little bit deep on the brakes there. I kind of locked up a bit. Lewis stays out for one more lap. So we're going to come in and try and protect our lead by pitting in and avoiding the undercut. So come on, we need a good stop here, boys. Looks like everybody's staying out a bit longer, so that's fine. We'll have a little bit more worn tyres, but that's okay.
Go now.
Good stop, 2 seconds flat. These 3 cars are going to go past, including Sebastian Vettel. Hopefully we can jump in this little pocket of space just in front of Max Verstappen. That's where we want to be.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Okay, we rejoin just behind Max, but at the perfect location. We'll pick up DRS here, which is good. So flat out for a Rouge. Up the hill, we're going to get the momentum. We're going to breeze past with DRS. There we go. So no time lost there at all. That was actually perfect timing. Back up to P7. Got to try and switch this medium tyre on. Lewis has got clean air now, so it's important to get a move on. Purple sector 2. We've got just about enough of a gap. I think I'm going to try and go for a flyer. Hopefully a couple of those cars pit in. Yeah, Sebastian pits in, so there we go. Right, let's get up to speed. Try and set her fast up of the race.
Sebastian's in for his stop.
There's Hamilton in the pit lane. A bit wide at turn 1, but we should rejoin comfortably in front, so the undercut pays off. We actually extend our lead over Lewis, which is good.
Burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
So overall, that was the right call. I could have maybe stayed at that more, but I wouldn't have known because Lewis was behind me. But we've got a nice gap to Hamilton now. Let's try and set a purple lap here and maybe try and score the fastest lap. It's going to be tricky. Lewis has got a clean S, so he might be able to pull it off, but we'll try our best.
The ahead is 2.9 seconds.
Hopefully, these two cars in front, Gasly and I believe Ricciardo, hopefully they pit in, get out of my way and give me DRS in the process. Yeah, there we go. And hopefully they'll both pit in. There we go. That's good timing. So far, everything's falling into place this race. DRS on the pit straight. Purple lap. Yes, we do.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Right, now we're going to see if Lewis can respond. Now he's going to go for a push lap, I think. At the minute, we've got the pace. We've timed the strategy beautifully. Half race distance. And we're hanging on. We're hanging in there. Still a long way to go. Good pace from us. We're doing pretty well even in standard engine mode. Lewis gained half a second on that lap and he did not set a purple lap, so I do wonder, is Lewis pushing or is he saving still, or is he maybe got damage? We've seen it before. Maybe he got damage in that battle with Lucas Weber. Maybe they both damaged each other, possibly. He did hit me once into the rear at the bus stop chicane, I think around lap 6. I'm not sure, I didn't see any debris on the track, but maybe he got light green damage on the wing maybe. I guess we'll see, but at the minute, it's all falling my way. It's all working out fine. Lewis is quicker than me, of course. He probably will catch back up to me, but the longer we keep him out of DRS, the better.
Gap to teammate behind is 20.4 seconds.
That was a better lap from Lewis. 6/10 on that lap, or 7/10 actually. He's starting to get a move on. He's probably going to catch me. I'm trying to save fuel in ERS before he gets onto the rear of me, so once again I can start to defend because fuel in ERS are a little bit low. So I'm trying to get them back on target without losing too much time. Gap inside 2 seconds now. Another 7/6 there from Lewis on that lap. That's kind of the consistent pace. I've managed to save a little bit of fuel in ERS. I'm on target now, which is good. And I've got enough to defend if he does arrive. 8 laps to go.
Let's use some of this energy. Increase the ERS deployment.
Gap is 1.1. I've got to try and keep him out of DRS range if I can. So I'm going to use a little bit of ERS on this back straight just to keep him out of range through the detection point. So far so good. 2 detection points, and I think so far no DRS for Lewis. We're keeping him at bay. But it's the middle sector that kills me, man. It's the same as qualifying. I lose too much time through sector 2. Gap inside a second. We've got this entire straight to try and use overtake and highlight mode to try and just push that to a second before we get to the detection point. If I can get my words out just before the bus stop, there we go, there it is. I think we've done enough again. Look at the minimap, I think we should be okay. The longer we do that, the better. Just got to tactically use and deploy my ERS before detection zones. Yep, 1.2 is the gap. Once again, good exit out of turn 1. We deploy at ERS down the hill. As the detection point comes up now, and there we go, we're through, back down to medium, DRS, and I think Lewis again doesn't have DRS just yet. Yep, visually you can see he's a little bit too far back, so this is working, got to keep it going. Our tyres are 1 lap older, so we'll start to feel that at the end of the race. I'm going to use a little bit of rich mix this time. Lewis is closer than he ever has been, you can see the name tag. Hopefully the rich mix does enough. He's getting a bit of a tow, which is making it harder to pull away, but hopefully we've still got enough in the tank. No, Lewis, you can see visually he's catching. He's turned the engine up this time. This time he's going to have DRS. We couldn't escape. He timed it to perfection really, and the right time, and this time he turned the engine up at the right time. He's got DRS now on the pit straight. Now we have to start defending again. Here we go then, boys. 5 laps to go, 6 laps to go really. Good exit out of turn 1, rich mix and hot lap. Let's open up a gap all the way up the hill if possible. Nice and smooth through there, but now Lewis is starting to pull me in. You can visually see when he's turned the engine up, he just keeps up so easily. Here he comes. We're going to have to defend this. Lewis to the outside. I'm on the inside, a little bit of the curb just to get the rotation. There we go. I feel like Lewis might have light damage. It's not much. I checked the last race, sorry, not the last one, the one before. In Germany, Lewis had trouble with his car. He's going slower than normal. But when I checked on the replay, he had no visual damage, so that lends me to believe it could be light green. And I think that's maybe what he has again here today, because we were similar pace in Germany, so, and we're pretty similar pace here, to be honest. Overall though, I can't believe this race pace. You know, Q1, Q2 we really struggled, practice as well, albeit that was on a harder difficulty, but Q2 wasn't the same difficulty as I'm on right now, and I almost got knocked out. But then Q3 as well, my first run in Q3 was also really poor, but then that second lap in Q3, since then I don't know what the hell has happened, but the pace is just unreal. It's so quick. Here comes Lewis again though, really commit. Don't think he will. The AI don't seem to normally go for moves down this back straight, they just wait for the chicane. I hate how there's no brake markables, I just can't guess where to brake. I'm braking way too early every single time. Good exit there, nice and tidy.
You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind, keep pushing.
I can see that, mate, don't worry. Turn 1, that's not a good exit. A little bit too much throttle. I don't really have much rich mix to burn, to be honest. Got to try and save a bit through sector 2 if I can. Okay, Lewis is closer this time. We're going to have to use overtake. Here he comes. Defend the inside once again. Inside line, tap at the curb. Lewis trying to hang it there. I had to be a little bit bolder around the outside. I had to really take a bit of a wider line just to make sure he didn't stay on the inside, otherwise he'd spin me out. I'm going to try and run lean mix in the second sector, see if I can get away with it. Okay, that was a nice exit that time, using lean mix to help me out. I'm pretty low on the ERS as well, for my liking. For a Rouge, good speed. Lewis is of course going to gain, but he's definitely not as quick this time. You can see the difference when he's not turning the engine up. He's not that quick, so I'm going to turn my engine down and try and save a little bit on this lap. Get ready for the final onslaught on the last couple of laps.
Some information on Weber. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Finally, some reliability issues for the Red Bull team, so it goes to show they're very strong, but they still have flaws. Here comes Lewis again. He's not going to commit. The AI don't really seem to commit to moves here unless they get a really good run out of Stavlo. Same goes for the bus stop chicane. They don't really seem to commit to a move here either. 2 laps to go though now, next time we cross the line. We're getting there. I feel confident, I think we're doing okay. We've got enough ERS and fuel to keep Lewis behind. Come on, 2 to go. Just completely focusing on my exits and the places where Lewis can have a run at me. See, that was a good exit there. We carry the speed and the setup is perfect because it gives us the right amount of straight line speed, but I'm not too bad through the corners. Sacrificing sector 2 of course, but it works out on the straights, which is good. Here comes Lewis, he's gaining a little bit. I'm going to stay to the inside because the AI do every now and again go for a bit of a reckless dive down the inside in this year's game. I've seen it before, it's happened to me before a couple of times. And you want to be careful because it happens so quick that you can't react. Lewis is really going for it now. He's being super aggressive on this lap. He tried to have a look into Pouon. Here he goes. He's got on the inside this line. This is not good. Turn up the engine, we're going to have to respond. He's got the better line. We're going to just get back in front though. Oh, that's a big snap. Mid Blanchimont there, but we stay in front. Going on to the last lap of the race. This is going to get tense now. I've got to be perfect, no mistakes. Got to be perfect out of traction zones like that. That's what you want.
This is your final lap of the race.
Let's set up a nice wide turn 1. Focus on our exit. A little bit of oversteer there, couldn't quite catch it. I've got plenty of ERS, not so much fuel. Fuel is going to be a bit of a tricky one. We're going to have enough fuel for this straight, I think, and that is it. Overtake, we're going to engage. Here comes Lewis, he's gaining, we're going to go defensive early on. Keep a little bit of rich mix in the tank, the smallest amount. Oh, he's late on the brakes this time, but I think he locks up. Runs wide. He actually got in front of me there. He had the momentum, but he got a little bit too hot on the brakes. Tyres letting go. Come on, we can do this. Right, we've got a lot of battery to burn, so let's burn it all along this straight. Let's not even give Lewis the chance to catch up. Keeping overtake all the way down the straight. Lewis, you can see he's turning the engine up because he's keeping up quite easily. And I'm in overtake mode, he's catching. We're going to have to just rely that we've got enough juice to stay in front. Down towards the bus stop chicane. Late on the brakes, living at the apex just to play it safe, and there we go. We've done it. The stars aligned, strategy perfect, Leclerc with trouble, Weber with trouble. We're going to win the Belgian Grand Prix. Grazie ragazzi, forza Ferrari, grazie.
Yes, you've done it. Well done.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today and a stunning win for Ferrari.
Right, so looking at the final race results, we win the race. We don't pick up the fastest lap. Magnussen stole that right at the end in the Haas, and that was a little bit annoying. But overall, a decent race here today, and we pick up our second win of the season after Austria. And I did not expect that one bit. You know, I said that at the start, we just had to be strong and have a really strong lap one, try and get past the Red Bulls on the Kemmel Straight, and I think they both damaged each other. That's my guess. They damaged each other whilst battling, because that would explain their lack of pace this race. Both of them really struggling, and Weber of course having car trouble. But the podium, myself, Hamilton and Magnussen as well, good result for Kevin. And then we've got Devon Butler P4, Lucas Weber P5, and then we've got Pierre Gasly P6. So even the Mercedes doing well today. Charles Leclerc from P13 up to P7, Daniel Ricciardo P8, Sebastian Vettel only P9, a poor race for Seb, and struggling for pace it seems, because in qualifying again he was smashing me up until the final run in Q3. I still can't explain it, it's really really weird. Again, it goes back to AI inconsistency I find in this game. I can't predict exactly what's going to happen. So, yeah, it's really weird. Either way, Verstappen rounds out the points, and towards the bottom of the table, Sergio Perez, the only retirement of the race in the Renault. In terms of what that is going to mean for the Drivers' Championship, after the really poor race last time in Hungary, we get ourselves right back into contention, and we're 54 points behind Lewis, and I believe around 27 behind Lucas Weber. So, yeah, we're still in there, we're still hanging in there, but it is going to be hard because the Rebels are so far ahead. Meanwhile, Devon Butler overtakes Sebastian Vettel once again for P6, that battle never ending, and Magnussen with that third place puts some daylight between himself and Devon Butler there for P5. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, we are still second, and we are 51 points ahead of Haas, and 207 behind Red Bull, a long way behind still, but yeah, overall guys, that is it for the Belgian Grand Prix, and we're going to move into the laptop, so we can try and put any form of upgrades on for the next race, because it is the Ferrari's home race, and you know, we always want to try and impress there and do well, and I think it's going to suit our car, because even though we're not the quickest, we're very slippery on the straights. So let's jump into it, let's go onto the laptop and put some upgrades onto the car.
Devon did much better in today's race than he did in qualifying. Were you expecting that? You took the top points today. Was it a comfortable win? Would you say that your rival is still on your level? What do you think made the difference between this weekend and last weekend? Appreciate your time.
Okay, so here we are then on the R&D screen, and you can see on screen now, we're very close to Mercedes, and I think with one upgrade, I think we can overtake them. We've got the Ultimate Aero one still failed and still waiting to arrive on the car, but the thing is, it's still very expensive. It's 840 points for our failed upgrade. It would get us above Haas and close to Red Bull, but I'm going to save that, because I reckon I'll get that on for Singapore. For the next race, it is Italy, it's a power circuit, therefore we're going to go for an out-and-out engine upgrade. And the reason I'm doing this one is because it's going to open up the next 3 3 major ones around it, which is going to be very big for us and very important in terms of improving the car. So I think that could be a potential good upgrade looking at the future in terms of wanting to push forward with engine development. So we're going to get down the car for the next race in Italy. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, it doesn't fail, and that should still get us ahead of McLaren and maybe Mercedes as well in the engine development, and then that would unlock these 3 major ones as well, which is big for us in terms of keeping one eye open looking at the future. So yeah, and then for Singapore, we'll apply the failed Ultimate Aero upgrade for that race, and hopefully we can keep on pushing forward and improving the car race by race, and hopefully it's the right direction to go in. But nonetheless, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video of career mode, and if you did enjoy it, drop a like and also get subscribed if you are new for daily Formula 1 content, and also turn on notifications to not miss a single video from me. And finally, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next episode very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.